Howdy! I'm so glad you're here. I forgot again, but it's time for a Today's paper product is wrapping paper. I've collected all of this from birthdays, Christmas, and I also sometimes use wrapping paper to draft my own sewing patterns. So I've gathered all the scraps in this bag and it's pretty darn full, so it's time to make some paper. I'm really curious to see what color it'll be, so I'm excited to try it out.
Right off the bat, my usual bin for paper making was too small for the big screen, so it was time for an upgrade. And then I remembered that wrapping paper might still have tape on it, which doesn't blend up very well, so I went through each piece and removed all the tape I could find. Because this is the big bin, I took it into the shower to fill it with hot water and started churning the soup to make sure every piece was saturated before blending. So I got straight to work with the big screen. I wasn't expecting there to be such a learning curve with the new screen, but oof, the first few pages were rough, which admittedly was a little frustrating. So I decided to switch between screen sizes to not only have a variety, but to also keep myself encouraged throughout this hours-long process. Eventually the floor was covered in drying paper, and I was all papered out. The only problem was there was still a lot of pulp left in the bin, so I got out my strainer and started collecting the remaining pulp and decided to make a bunch of little shapes using resin molds and cookie cutters. Everything took quite a long time to dry, but once the papers were dry, I made another little book with the smallest pages. Because the paper was purplish, I used a tangled theme pleather I had in my stash for the cover. I think this tiny book is just the cutest, so that definitely counts as a successful